Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show. And something amazing has happened recently. Have you seen the views on the last few videos that I posted on this channel reacting to millennial money? It's incredible. It's insane. This is going to turn into basically the Dr. Phil meme of the finance industry. It's just, let's look at millennial money and just react to it. I can't believe it. So anyway, we're going to keep this going. As long as people want to see this and as long as people like it and watch it, I'm gonna keep milking this until there's no more left, until you guys are sick and tired of this. But until then, as long as everyone still enjoys it, here we are. And you know what? Something also interesting has happened lately. You know what happens when you go and visit a YouTube channel and then YouTube is like, no, go and see this video. We want you to see this now because you liked this one, but watch this. YouTube has been doing that to me non-stop with this video. Living on $60,000 a year in New York City, millennial money. No joke, YouTube is like every hour, watch the video, watch the video, watch the video. I haven't clicked on it because I do all of this unscripted. None of this is like planned out ahead of time. I don't watch the videos beforehand, so I've been resisting to watch it. Fine, I give in. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna react to it. So if YouTube wants me to see more videos, all you gotta do is recommend this to me and I will go and see it. So here we go, living on $60,000 a year in New York City, millennial money. Make sure to always hit the like button and let's start this off.
I live very, very comfortably with...
Love that cat mug. Love that cat mug. The thing is this, she's making $60,000 a year in New York City. She can make $60,000 a month drop shipping this cat mug on Facebook and Shopify. Right? I mean, Alex Becker would have a field day with this mug.
With 60.
By the way, I realized we both got coffee here.
You can find very nice places to live on a good budget. Being an actress, dancer, singer, you have to keep up your dancing and acting and singing, so there's a lot of extra costs that come into keeping your...
All right, here we go. Here's my favorite part in this entire series. Let's look over the budget and figure out where she's messing up here. Let's start with rent, $920 a month, utilities split 3 ways. Wow, that's amazing. In Upper Manhattan, to pay $920 a month. I don't care if you have roommates. The fact that you can spend $920 a month and live in Manhattan, amazing. She gets an A++. She got 110% right there, because that's amazing. Okay, next, voice and dance lessons, $470. You know what? I think that's reasonable. I think that's not only her profession, and I think that's a hobby and a passion of hers. I'm all for that. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. Recreation. Let's be very clear. Not recreation. Anyway, recreation, that's dining out, drinks, coffee, and crafting. $433 a month seems a little high. I'm going to say that's a little high. Considering that's nearly half of her rent budget is basically dining out, drinks, coffee, and crafting, I bet you can get that down to half. Like, you don't need to be buying drinks at the bar. It's so much easier, by the way. You just pregame at home, you get a little buzz, you go to the bar, and then you just order a glass of water. That's been my life hack, basically my entire life. I almost refuse to buy drinks at a bar, unless it's like a last case resort, where I'm just like, it's gonna be kind of weird if I don't get a drink. You know, drink at home, go to the bar, you cut your costs down by next to nothing. Coffee. There's no way that she's making her coffee at home. I mean, my brain is fizzling out here. Making coffee at home should maybe be 20 cents a cup, 30 cents a cup. I have a feeling she's getting coffee elsewhere, which she doesn't need to do that. She can cut that out. Okay. Groceries, $200 a month, fine. Savings, $150 a month in savings. She needs to get her savings up. I mean, I don't know what her plan is for ever retiring. That's what I'm worried about, because right now she's going to have to work indefinitely for the rest of her life. There is no retirement here, unless she marries someone with money. it's not going to pan out. So that's something we got to work on. I'll continue watching the rest of the video because so far everything else I see is reasonable. It's just the savings too low and recreation, in my opinion, too high.
On a usual night, I'll make about $250 to $300 usually. There was a day actually just a couple months ago where me and my partner each made $800.
Just watch my detective work here. So she said $50,000 to $55,000 a year comes from serving, okay? Fine. But if she's making $250, $300 a night, let's say she's working 8 hours, $10 an hour before tips, $80, that means that the majority of her income is coming as tips. Because before, I'm adding up her expenses in my head and it comes to about $34,000 a year. We call that the burn rate. That's how much money you spend just to live. That's your burn right there, $34,000 a year. So I just did some calculations here. I just cut that out to save some time. So anyway, basically we're gonna assume that she's making $60,000 a year. She's not claiming a lot of her tips and her tax bill at the end of the year is gonna be about $8,000, okay? So she's left with $52,000 a year divided by 12, $43.33 a month. Let's just say $4,300 a month, okay? That's how much she's making net after paying taxes. Now, if she's claiming all of the money in taxes, if she's doing what she's legally obligated to do, then she really doesn't have much money left over. There's like an extra $300 a month that is probably just, we call that the phantom drain. It's basically just money that you just spend without even realizing it. So she's not really left with much over. But if she's not claiming all of her income on taxes, she's left with a considerable amount more. It seems like with everyone, there's some money in here that's just unaccounted for because we got $1,470 a month extra, assuming she's not claiming all of her taxes on tips. Which, I don't know any server, by the way. I don't know a single server who claims all of their tips. Right? I don't. Do you? Do you? I don't. Okay.
It's really hard actually being a dancer in New York City. When I go to a audition, open calls usually have around 300 girls there at least. Usually on a contract, non-equity dancers, singers, actors will make around $350 to $500 a week. Even though I do make less money when I am dancing and acting, it's what I live for.
Okay, so this is something I think we should elaborate on a little bit further because it's so difficult to make money from a passion. Because passion by definition is something that you just love to do, that it becomes a part of who you are and your identity. Turning that and monetizing it into a business is what's needed to make money. We should separate this from she's doing this for the money or she's doing this as a passion. And I get it. I know some artists that are amazing at doing art and they love it, but they don't make any money because they don't think of it like a business. They think of it like, I just love art and I love doing what I do. And I would love to make a living out of it, but I can't because I don't make enough money. And the reason why is because you're not treating it as though it's a business. And that's something you always have to do, which, by the way, sometimes if you treat a passion like a business, it loses the passion it once did, which is a very fine balance. And now we're getting into the nuances of life, basically, at this point, that I'll save for another video, but that's my rant on that.
I like to keep $5,000 in my checking account, and then whatever is extra, I'll transfer over into my savings account.
Okay, so let's start right here. Okay, $5,000 in a checking account, whatever's left over goes into a savings account. I don't like that because I don't like the whatever is left over. I don't like people saying, well, whatever's left over, then I'm gonna go and save it. I never like doing that. She should be flipping that around. Whenever she gets paid, she saves first, spends later. If she just transfers not what's left over, but a set amount every single month, I'm gonna transfer $500 a month every month from my checking to my saving, no matter what happens, and then I'm gonna live off the rest. That would improve her savings rate dramatically. Because I'm worried psychologically, whatever's left over, there's no urgency there. There's no mandatory, I gotta move money over to a savings, I gotta pay myself first. It's whatever's left over. What if there's nothing left over? Oh well, I don't like that. If she just switched that up right there, she would be in a much better position. I nearly guarantee that.
I have just over $10,000 in my savings account.
Okay, so $10,000 in a savings account. Okay, so that makes me happy because that is basically, she's got a few month emergency fund right there. I just hope it's in a high interest savings account. If this money is sitting in like a Wells Fargo savings account earning 0.1% interest, I'm gonna be really upset. If you wanna trigger me, that's all you have to tell me, that you're not making at least 2% in interest every single year from a savings account. If you're not doing that, you're gonna trigger me. And you don't want me upset. We're gonna end it there.
I try not to use any credit cards at all. I'll use a credit card on a big purchase.
Wow! Whoa! I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. I don't like that at all. Tries not to use credit cards, but uses it on a big purchase, probably because she doesn't have the money or she doesn't want to spend all the money right now to buy it. That's terrible. That's terrible. If this person is ever watching, please go through my main channel, go and watch my credit card videos. Just rack up points. Just get the points. Build your credit score. Now is the time to do this. Now, like, you're 32 years old. Now should be the point where you really take it seriously. You hunker down, you build your credit score. Every single cent right now that you spend should be put on a credit card. Everything. No matter what, and then you pay it off in full. Don't wait and save it for the big charges. No, everything is on a credit card. That upsets me. That got me triggered.
I do not have any retirement, which is not so great, but.
It's not too late. She's behind. She can catch up. She can absolutely catch up if she changes today.
I have 30 years to get a retirement fund.
You know, I thought in the beginning, I'm like, okay, she's doing okay. It's not that bad, you know, whatever. And then it just crashed and burned between the checking and the saving. We don't know if that's high interest and not spending a credit card, to the no retirement plan, and then saying, I have 30 years to do this, I'll be fine. And you can't, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. This isn't something that you can say, well, I have my entire life to do this, because your life is gone in the blink of an eye and then you're 60 and you still have nothing. She seems like the person to me that is really about following her heart. You know, to me, her life seems like she's not made it about money. She's made it about her passion and her dreams and following her goal. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Let me make that very clear. There's nothing wrong with that. But from a financial perspective, she does need to pay the bills and make sure she's taken care of financially. And that includes sacrificing some of that, you know, passion in exchange for figuring out, like, hey, how can I make this sustainable long term so that I'm not going to be 70 years old and still working because I have nothing saved up. And there's little tiny changes that she could make that would make a very long-term difference. Even starting today, for her, a Roth IRA would be perfect. Because chances are she's not claiming a lot of that income, she's not in a high tax bracket. Start a Roth IRA. Move some of that savings into a Roth IRA. Like what she mentioned, what's left over in her checkings goes into her savings. No, I want every month $300. Every month, $300. Find a way to cut that out of somewhere, goes into a Roth IRA. Then immediately start using a credit card for all of your purchases. Just those two would really help her dramatically. I hope she sees this.
Coffee is my big splurge. I definitely have a lot of coffee. I usually probably spend $100 a month at Starbucks. So worth it.
She's making coffee at home and spends $100 a month at Starbucks. Cut that out. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care how much you enjoy Starbucks. You cut that out right now. Right now, $100 a month immediately should be going directly to a Roth IRA.
I hope to have been able to play more roles in shows that I would love to do. Like, I make less money when I'm dancing, but it makes me so happy that making less money is worth my happiness.
I agree with her, and I think that's totally true. I think it's worth finding a balance between what you love and how much money you make. And if you make a lot of money but you sacrifice your own well-being, it's not worth it. Overall, I think, you know, she's doing the best she can. I would just recommend she's got to get her finances in order, just 25% better. All I'm asking, if she watches this, first of all, make sure you're in a high interest savings account. I want you to earn 2% or higher, okay? That would make me very happy. Secondly, put money on a credit card. Immediately. You want to build your credit score. I want to see her credit score at like an 800 in a few years. And she should even start doing credit card churning, you know? She's not buying a house, obviously, anytime soon, so she may as well just start churning credit cards, putting those $500 boots on a credit card, getting the points, and then at least getting some free travel from it, you know? She can get some free stuff from that. And then third, what she should really be doing is open up a Roth IRA, cut out the Starbucks entirely. Let's face it, you can do without the Starbucks. You don't need the Starbucks. Other than that, I think, you know, the main thing is just long-term sustainability, okay? At 32, I think it's about time where you start thinking to yourself, where do you want to be in 30 years? Do you want a family? Do you want to own a home? Do you still want to live in New York? How do you plan on making money? Do you ever want to retire? At what age do you want to retire? I think all of these things are really important to consider. This is not something to think that you're 32 and can do this anytime you want because you're still young. Because life goes by very, very quickly, and I think it's very important to consider this stuff now and plan now. The sooner you plan, the easier it's going to be. It's going to be 10 times harder for her to do this in another few years than if she starts right now. And overall, it seems like she's a really passionate person. She's a happy person. It seems like she's very content with everything. So, I mean, at the end of it, that's really what matters the most. She's not miserable. She doesn't seem like really stressed out over anything, and I think she's just kind of going with the flow. And you know, if that works for her, you know, that's great, but there are a few little tiny changes that I mentioned that she can do with no difference to her life really whatsoever. I mean, what's cutting out some Starbucks? And that's it. And that's all I would do. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys make it to the very end, you haven't already smashed that like button, destroy the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the notification bell, by the way, so YouTube notifies you anytime I post a video. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.